It is Julie B. Deep Dives with Doug Hughes and Scarlet Echoes, and we're here to dive into the final section and the screaming goats. I think I just
Go
heard the
on.
screaming goats. Uh, and we're here to dive into the final section of Doug's second novel, The Shaming of the True. Um, and yeah, can't wait to get started.
We have some serious echo.
Oh, is there an echo? I don't know. I don't know why there would be. Is it when I'm talking you hear an
It's a
echo?
serious several second delay. It's all the sound.
All of the sound. Uh-oh. I don't know what would be causing that. Well,
It was on my end. I got it. There were two stream yards up at the same time.
oh, okay.
One of them was lagging. Sorry, my bad.
It's okay. Um,
It's okay. This
mhm.
sounds okay.
Yeah, yeah. We were just checking to make sure that that Carl's dad's TV isn't up too loud.
No, no,
You guys can't hear that, I hope.
no.
Okay, great. Anyway, where was I? We are here to dive into the final section of Doug's second book, The Shaming of the True. And it was a really awesome conclusion to this book. I thoroughly enjoyed it, Doug. Um,
Well, it's funny, just to sort of be prepared for each of these, I've had to go back and reread it all, which is always a bit of an education. And it made me realize that it has something in common with the first one in that there were all kinds of loose ends that very quickly get tied up at the end.
right. Yeah, it's amazing how you answer every question and you tie everything up. Like every detail that you set up in this thing, you pay off in the end. There are no loose threads, there are no plot holes. It is airtight, which is it's tricky to do, lots of great pieces of writing have fallen victim to plot holes in the end.
Mm.
I think with TV, it's easier for that to happen than with, say, a book or a play, because with TV series, it just works differently. You've got you don't know how many seasons you're going to get when you're writing for a TV series.
Although it's interesting, I was just watching an interview the other day from several months ago, and it was of the three J's, John, Jack, and Jeff Pinkner. And John Griffin was talking about the process of writing for a series because there were all these questions of, is this going to be like Lost? Do you guys have any idea where it's going? Blah, blah, blah. And they said,
Right.
yes, yes, yes. As we've said all along, we know how it ends. We've known that from the beginning. We know exactly where we're going. How we get there, of course, is a slightly different thing. And John actually compared it to novel writing. And I've never written a 5-season series myself. I did actually, Marcy and I created a Bible for one, so we have some understanding of what the process is, because you
Right.
do have to sort of know what's going to be the end of your first season, what's going to be the end of your second season, what's going to be the end of the fifth, and as many of the steps in between as you can put together. But having written a couple of novels, I thought, yeah, I know exactly what he was talking about, because when Marcy and I write a play, we get really granular, like it's very, very detail oriented and moment to moment oriented. And, we have a very good idea of what every scene's going to be about before we start writing dialogue. I didn't take quite that approach with the novel. It's a different animal. They're much bigger. They're much longer. There's a lot more room to breathe. And
Mhm.
so I had a general idea of what the story arc was, but there was lots of room in there to surprise myself or have my characters surprise me. And you always have the benefit of being able to go back and fix stuff. So
Right.
there were, like, as I said with the first book, there was a huge question about, like, why did CSIS allow him to publish this book in the first place? And I had the hardest time coming up with a satisfactory explanation. But by the time I got there, to that, it was so late in the book that it's like, oh, okay, now I know what to do.
Right.
When I write plays, those kinds of issues don't happen. We already know the answers to those questions. But it's different with a novel, and I would say different with a series too. I mean, I knew exactly what they meant when they said, We know how it's going to end. We just don't necessarily know what all the steps are that are going to get us there, you know?
Yeah, they compared it to you know, planning a major road trip, and you know your destination, and you know like some of the major stops along the way, but they left themselves room to take detours and surprise themselves.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, which I thought was a great analogy. Um and you know, with Lost, they didn't have a plan for the end when they started the series.
Because they had no idea it was going to go that long. They were just,
No.
you know, it was like, oh my God, we got renewed. What the hell are we going to do now? You know?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
happens
Yeah,
sometimes.
and those are 22 episode seasons too. They're not short.
Yes. And that leaves a lot of room for filler and plot holes to inevitably happen because they're trying to fill time. They're forced to fill up a certain number of episodes every season, and they don't know how long they're going to get renewed, and you know, so it gets messy. It gets messy. So we got to give them some grace in that. And I just finished Lost for the first time, and I thought it was
Oh,
terrific. I liked the ending a lot.
I like the ending too. I was amazed that so many people. Now, I came into Lost quite late. It was, I can't remember exactly where it was in the story, but I came in probably about at least 2/3 of the way through the series, you know? So it took me a while to figure out what the hell was going on. But yeah, by the time we got to the end, I went, yeah, that works. I'll buy that, you know?
Yeah, yeah, and I think that they made it pretty clear. I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, because people didn't spoil it for me, and this isn't a Lost stream. But I thought that they made it pretty clear what was going on here, and yet so many people got the wrong impression. And I'll just say you know, I'll just say this much: they weren't all dead the whole time. That's all I'll say. They were not all dead the whole time. That's not true. And everybody got all angry at the show and said that they lied to us. Everyone was dead the whole time. The showrunner said that they weren't dead, and they lied for years. And that's not true. They were not. It's not. That's not the case at all. It's way more nuanced than that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'll save the rest of the Lost talk for an upcoming stream that we're gonna do.
Very
We're
good.
gonna be comparing Lost and From, some major parallels between the two series, and just have some fun with it because it's a great series, and there are a lot of fans of From who love Lost as well.
Yeah.
But let's say hi to the folks in the chat here. First, we've actually got Doug's new YouTube channel, Cash Hughes Playwrights. Uh,
Yeah,
and
I showed up that way, I guess, because I'm logged into my channel. So yeah, that was a bit of a surprise.
yeah, with this awesome avatar of you and Marcia, your writing partner. I love that.
It's cool. Yeah.
That's awesome, Doug.
Yeah, Mars came up with that, and I was quite delighted when I saw it. I said, "Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you very
It,
much for that."
it is perfect. It's got so much
Mhm.
personality. I love it. That's a terrific avatar.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, but yeah, before I move on from that, I'll just say, Doug just created this channel to promote, particularly to promote Sucker, his latest play that he and Marcia wrote, and he uploaded a clip. Now, I don't know if this is the final version that we're gonna promote for everybody to go watch right now, but
Yeah, we're not doing anything to it. We're living with it the way it is.
okay,
I
so
mean,
this is
the
the final one.
thumbnails may change and all that, but the clip itself, it's that's it. It's done.
Yeah. So I'm going to be sharing the link to this in my Discord for everybody who's in there. But also, when this stream is over, I'll edit the description of this video and post a link to this channel so that everybody can find it and go watch the clip for to promote Doug's latest play, Sucker. It's really entertaining and creative. Just a 52-second clip, but it really it grabs you, it grabs your attention, and it makes you intrigued enough to want to read this play or see this play performed. So I thought it was extremely effective, and you guys shot that last week, right? Was it last week?
A couple of weeks ago now, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay, the week before last. The weeks are going by so fast, I can't even
Tell me
keep up.
about it. There's also a clip there for Deadline, which is kind of fun, which Mars and I just did. It's just no special effects. We just shot it on her laptop one day in her office, but it's good for a giggle. So you can check that out too while you're there.
Yeah, yeah. While you're there, check out the video clip promoting Deadline, Doug's play that we've discussed here on this channel as well. Doug and Marcia's earlier play. But yeah, Sucker is the latest one, and it's the one that and we're hoping we'll get a production soon so that it can get published. So that's the goal of this ultimately, right? To get the word out about this so that a theater will produce it and then it can get published, right?
Yeah, that's essentially it, because sending out emails to theater companies saying, would you like to read our new play, just doesn't work anymore. People don't read those emails.
Right.
So yeah, we're trying to explore some other avenues to get it out there and get people aware of it. So we'll see if it works.
I think it's smart. I mean, there are theaters all over the world of big and small of all kinds, and so this can get the word out, and it's an extremely timely play about AI and identity theft, the dangers of AI. I think it's definitely going to find an audience. It's only a matter of time, and as soon as it gets a production, we'll be the first to be and gets published. We'll be the first to be posting the link to that. But sadly, you can't buy it anywhere yet. First, it's got to get a production, and then it'll get published, and we'll share the link to that when that I'm sure happens eventually. But
And
yeah,
that can
some
be a very
people,
long process. With our
yeah,
first play, it was very fast. We submitted it to Samuel French. That was the company at the time. They're part of Concord now, but they were the big play producers or play publishers at the time. And we sent it kind of as a lark. And they called us 2 weeks later and said, okay, we'll publish it. We're like, what? Wow. I thought it would be like
wow,
months, Conversely, with our third play, Too Many Cooks, we sent that to them and they turned it down. And we basically had to wait until the CEO of the company finally retired and all the kids took over. And we submitted it 9 years later. And that's when it got published.
oh
So,
my God,
yeah.
yeah, that's a long wait.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
I hope
usually a
this.
matter of a few months. It's usually not that big a deal. I mean, first they have to say yes, they're going to publish it. Then there's the
Right.
whole process of, putting it all together, and that takes quite a time. But
Right.
first you have to get it produced. So that's what we're aiming for.
Oh, I'm sure you'll get there. And yeah, so yeah, people, because I know some people had watched an earlier version of it on your personal YouTube channel, and they were thinking like they could buy it online somewhere and wanting to get it, but yeah, we got to get a production of it first, and
Yeah.
then we'll see. Um, but yeah, there's the link to Doug's channel that Carl posted in the chat right there.
Thanks, Carl.
Yeah, so go check it out. Subscribe to Doug's channel, and because like the more subscriptions he gets, the more people who subscribe to it and watch this clip, the more YouTube will push it out in the algorithm for other people to find. So head over there and give Doug a sub, and Marcia, Doug and Marcia, and yeah, and I'll add that to the description of the video later on.
Cool.
And
Do you
Doc is
think,
here.
Doug, do you think Marcia would ever want to come on alive again?
I don't know. I think if we had a pressing reason to do it, yeah, sure. I mean,
Okay.
if this generates some interest, and we need more of an online presence to push it a little more, yeah, I think she'd be open to that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it was fun having her on. We enjoyed that last year.
Yeah, no, she had a good time.
Yeah. And hey, Doc, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. And oh, Michael. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Michael.
And nice to see you. Michael said that yeah, the showrunners of From said they want to allow for some scenic detours and happy accidents as opposed to getting run off the road by Toby's driving. Right, not that kind of accident. Happy accidents. What lies in the shadow of the statue? Yes, the mysterious lost question, which I now finally know the answer to. And Michael said, even now, the showrunners and writers keep having to say, no, y'all misunderstood the ending. Oh, yeah, of Lost. They still weren't dead the entire time. I know, they're still trying to dispel that misconception. Hey, Lori.
Hey, Lori.
Nice to see you. Real Cinema Therapy in the chat. Check out Lori's channel. She's doing an awesome job. Right now, she's been covering, I believe, the show Cold Water, doing some live streams for that. Hey, Pixie Vine TV. Nice to see you,
Hey,
Amy. Amy is also doing her content for her channel, and lately it's been beautiful music that she's been putting out. And in one case, she actually sang. She has a beautiful voice, so check out Amy's channel. She's been doing music content. The gaming stuff is on hold at the moment, she said. Michael said the stuff at the ending was what came after, without giving any spoilers away, which was what nobody seemed to understand. Yes, I'm lost. Exactly. Hey there, Mordecai Screens It All. Welcome. Nice to see you. Yes, that is indeed the Man in Yellow from our beloved series From.
It's actually the men in yellow, because I was hiding the little guy, but there he is.
Yes, there he is. He's got his own minion. What, Doug?
He's been getting a lot of attention the last few days because of those pictures I posted on Insta and on Facebook of him first posting with one of the makeup gals, and then another picture with Hannah, with Julie.
Yeah, it's terrific. Both of them terrific pictures. Yeah, I'm not surprised that's gotten a lot of attention. It's great that you can finally share this stuff now that the From season 4 teaser is out and cat's out of the bag. You're in season 4 officially, so you can share those little gems.
And it kills me. Like, people are already theorizing based on the pictures, and it's like, guys, it's just a couple of people goofing around with a doll, for God's sake, you know?
You're like, who's that first woman? Is she a new arrival? Does she arrive at
What's that? Sorry?
From?
Sorry?
No, like with the first picture, it'd be like, who? Can you hear me?
Yes.
You were breaking up there.
Okay. This only seems to happen on your lives, Julie. I was going to make a joke about the first picture where people thought that was a new arrival in From, but it was a makeup lady. Write your own jokes.
Oh, I didn't see any of those comments. I didn't realize people thought, that. But that's one of the makeup
I thought maybe they thought it was a new actress.
And somebody posted a message today saying, that's definitely a different Julie. And I'm like, what? Whatever, you know.
That's a Julie from an alternate universe, a Julie clone.
No, I think he thought it was like a completely different person. Maybe it was that. I don't know, but it's just odd. No.
Yeah, it's just future Julie, who we've already seen in the previous season. It's future Julie who tried to save Jim. I mean, it is exciting to see that we're going to get more future Julie but you're not the only one who posted that. So you didn't let any cat out of the bag. They had already, the official From account already released a picture of Julie with her hair short. So, yeah, it was just a fun picture. There's nothing that deep to read into as of yet. I loved the picture of you in full makeup and your yellow suit with the makeup lady, Doug. That was so cool to see that just in a normal photo, not in a screenshot from the TV scene, but actually behind the scenes, seeing you in the full makeup and costume in normal lighting. That was really cool. I was psyched that you got to share that. And they did an amazing job
for a long time.
Yeah, you had to keep that under your hat.
In fact, I took a bunch of touristy shots. I told you this before. I took a bunch of pictures in Halifax, and I've had to hang on to them for over, what is it, almost a year now, 9 months, something like that. Because I thought if I start posting pictures of Halifax, people are going to know why I'm there. It's going to be like a spoiler. So, but now the cat's out of the bag, so I guess it's okay.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I'm glad you got to finally share those, and people went nuts over them. They did an amazing job on your makeup, hair, everything. Wow, like the ghostly pale pallor on your skin, like everything was just phenomenal.
It takes a long time to get there, you know. My hands alone, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
How many hours did it take? Do you remember?
Well, it's hard to say. It kind of varies depending on what we're doing, but it's usually like at a minimum, it's probably an hour and a half. Sometimes depending on the situation, it might be 2 or 3 hours. It can be lengthy. Yeah. There's a lot of attention to detail. There's a lot of steps to it all, you know.
Yeah, and even your teeth. There was a misconception that it's a little hard. The lighting in the scene is a little bit dim, so people were looking at it and thinking that you had no teeth, but they actually blackened your teeth considerably.
Yeah, you don't really see it very well in the season 3 finale, but it's been the same the whole time along. Yeah, they just try to make them look kind of rotten. I mean, you can still see that I have teeth if the lighting's good, but you know, they're not in good shape, certainly.
Yeah, I could see them better this time, but you know, like in season 3, it was a little hard to see. And just to show people what it is that we're talking about, I'll just share the screen for a second so you can see. And go follow Doug on his Instagram. Yeah, there's always beautiful pictures of Toronto, and you know, your bike rides. Although I'm sure lately you've had to do less bike rides, at least
Oh yeah,
shorter bike rides, I'm guessing, because
well,
of your injury.
and the weather.
But
Yes. I was
like,
gonna say the snow and ice lady.
yeah. So that's the image that we were talking about. That's awesome. I loved that. Wow.
Some guy left a
Just
comment on one of the posts of mine online today, complaining about how chintzy the suit is. And I had to send him a message and say, dude, you have to understand something. Before they broke that down, this is like the finest Irish linen. It was, when they first put it on me, I was just, oh my God, this is amazing. But, you know, it has to look like this.
Now we're going to ruin it for you.
Yeah, it's like,
drive over with the truck.
We'll just finish adjusting this, and then we'll take it out front and run a truck over it. You know.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's just phenomenal, and it's so bright. Everything is just it just pops in normal lighting like that. It's really
Oh
cool
yeah,
to see what it actually looks like.
it's a brilliant canary yellow. I mean, it's yeah. Well,
Oh
it's not
man,
so
yeah.
brilliant now, but you should have seen it when it was new. It was just like sunglasses almost, you know.
Yeah, I can imagine. Anyway, so that was that picture, and then of course we showed this last time. That's future Julie behind the scenes, Hannah, Jeremy, and Mini Men in Yellow. Awesome. So yeah, if you're not following Doug on Instagram, you're missing out on some cool content. So go check that out.
I'm surprised she isn't trying to strangle him because he killed her dad. Revenge.
Well, as I said to somebody in one of my posts today, I said, you know, what can I tell you? He's a big hit with the ladies.
Oh yeah. Even if you kill one of their parents.
Have you been interacting a lot? We'll get back on topic in a sec, of course, but have you been getting a lot more interactions with the From fans still in the last week? Just
oh God, these 2 pictures I think have gotten more response than anything.
Wow.
And I think part of that is just because people are so chomping at the bit for the new series, and also the timing of the teaser having just come out and all of that too, you know.
Yeah. People have been just dying like a dog in need of a bone, like for the longest time, and now they're just chomping away on this whatever they can get, these little nuggets. Yeah, the fandom is excited.
They are primed and ready to go. And by the way, I imagine you're going to be doing a watch party for the season 4 opener.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I want to be there for that.
Oh
Right.
yes. We would love it.
I definitely want to be there for that because you guys are going to lose your shit.
Oh
And
my
I want to watch
God.
it happen in real time.
Oh my God, I can't wait. That would be awesome. So, yes, folks in the chat, if you'd like to join us and Doug to watch from season 4 when it comes out, I will be doing watch parties every week in the Discord when the episodes drop. Every week, just like I did last time. And it's a lot of fun. So, if you want to join, the Discord link is in the description of this video. I can't wait. I can only imagine what is going to happen, and I cannot wait to see. And yeah, you'll. I'm sure you'll get a kick out of seeing us lose our shit, Doug.
Anyway, I guess we should get back on top.
Maybe we should just put Doug's mic on so he just starts laughing when we all start losing our shit.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of that, I'm sure.
Yes. And we can do a voice chat after, if anybody wants to talk after. Well, we can.
I'm sure there'll be a question or two.
Yes.
Which I'll be very limited in terms of what I can say, but
of course. Well, we'll do a little voice discussion, a little voice chat in the Discord after the watch party, and just have some fun with it. I can't wait. April 19th is the big day, guys. April 19th.
Only 2 months away.
Yeah, it's coming. Michael said, "Yepers love us some Dougie and Mini Man in Yellow on the shelf behind." And Mordecai said, "Oh, so cool! I hope he gets a theater to produce it."
From your lips to God's ears, Mordecai.
Yes, and love this from Elise supporting the creative project. Absolutely, yes. We all want to support each other and the cast of From, whatever we can do to help. And now that is especially you, Doug. I mean, you have been amazing to the From fandom. You have been so kind and generous with your time and attention, unlike anything I've ever seen an actor doing. So whatever we can do to help you and support your work beyond From, we want to do.
Well, I've just been doing that because I got so much damn time on my hands. If I were working more, you probably wouldn't see so much of me, but what can I say?
Yeah.
Anywho, let's get back to our story here and see what's going on with these guys.
Yes. So, hey there, Rose, lurking and listening. We'll chat if I can. Thank you for being here. Hey, just me. Mordecai subscribed. Mordecai subscribed to your channel, Doug.
Thank you, Mordecai.
And see, did I miss anybody? Please hit the like button if you haven't already, and help people find the stream. There is Doug's Instagram, so you guys can follow him.
Thanks,
hey,
Michael.
SL Rhodes. I did not see the From ad using Fromily, so I'm not sure what that is, but let me know in the chat. What
the Fromly Matters.
Oh, was it Fromily Matters?
The show Family Matters? There was a parody of Family Matters, but it was Fromly Matters.
Oh, yes, that was
really
funny.
Good.
That was funny. I liked that.
Yeah. Especially Elizabeth Saunders coming down the stairs and she had this like really grumpy look on her face, and that was this classic.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was great. Hey, Tony 93. Hello everyone and good to see you there. 3 again. The theories, I'm all for it. What is the Man in Yellow Instagram again? Well, we got that in the chat, Tony, and thank you for being here. And yes, just me. I would also love to see a time-lapse video of them doing Doug's makeup. That's gotta be cool to watch. Blackened teeth from eating people. Rose, that's a horrifying thought.
I just think it's bad dental hygiene.
Eating souls.
Yeah. Yes, lots of Mini Man in Yellow pictures on his Instagram, and they're very entertaining. Doug has a great sense of humor, so follow him over there. SL Rhodes, they owe a check for using that phrase that someone popularized. I'm not sure what that means, but Hey there, JT Moore. Doug will be up late that night. Oh yes, on the premiere night.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I have to make sure I don't have anything planned for the following day.
Yes. Clear the schedule. SL Rhodes, yes. Doug is on that NDA, so he cannot talk about anything that's going to happen in season 4, and we will not. We would never want to jeopardize his job. Rose, I don't think they're going to change the opening song for the new season. I mean, it's pretty iconic, the cover of Que Sera Sera for From. So I doubt. Yeah, I mean, Michael, you just used the same word as me. Such an iconic song. Exactly. I think they'll probably just leave it all the same. Anyway, so we are not talking From tonight. Just that was a nice little diversion, but we are going to discuss the conclusion of Doug's second novel, the Shaming of the Shrew. I almost said the Taming of the Shrew.
I've done
I,
that several times myself, and I wrote the damn thing. So, you know.
it's a play on that. It's so easy to accidentally say it. But anyway, the Shaming of the Shrew. I always have to catch myself on that one. So we started with page 270 last time, and we're going to be discussing from that part through the end of the novel, which is 326 pages long. So nice. It's kind of like the perfect length I think for a novel. Let's see, and I hope that you do a sequel, Doug. Like I'd love to hear more. I know that you have ideas for a sequel, and
Yeah,
I'd
a
love to
couple of
see
things
that.
on the back burner. If something grabs me sufficiently, I will probably do it, but we'll see.
Yeah. So so this section starts with Harry and Lena starting their final mission. This is really been the main mission of the entire book is finally underway, which is to go bring this thumb drive with malware on it to the IRA building and sabotage them so that they stop sabotaging the Canadian elections or elections singular. And it's a really dangerous and crazy plan. I you know they said that going into it. I mean, Lena remarked on how so many things could go wrong, and so many things do.
Well,
Um,
of course.
she called that one right. um, because you've got Harry having to impersonate. Let's see, what is it called? What's the name of the official that he's impersonating?
Oh, he has a Georgian name. It's quite a mouthful. I'll have to scroll down and see if I can find it.
What his job description? What is that again?
Oh, he's a senior guy in the SVR, which is one of the security services in Russia. And
Right.
the story that they're here is his name. His name is Gulnaz Akaladze.
That is a mouthful.
Indeed, well, that's Georgian for you. Those names are always a mouthful.
Yes.
But the plan is like because they're on the run. Oh, and this is something we haven't got to yet. One of the things that, of course, happens while they're planning how they're going to do this is they see the news that they've now both been framed for murder.
Right.
That the woman that Boria was having sex with is now being wheeled out of the apartment building into a hearse, and they're claiming that these two killed her. So they're now fugitive murderers as far as the country thinks. So it's really putting the pressure on them to keep their heads down, get the job done, and get the hell out of Dodge.
Right. Yeah. So that adds more stakes to the situation. And Harry has to impersonate this guy, this high level official, and use Lena's friend as his assistant, Mikhail. And yeah, so they've got to go in there, and they're going in there under the pretense that that basically he's telling Mikhail that someone in the IRA is trying to sabotage and frame Lena for murder, and they planted that video, in the news. They leaked the video to the news and everything. So yeah, so they need to go in there and try to suss out what's going on and who's the saboteur in the IRA. So that's how they get Mikhail to sign on to this. And then they go in there. But to prepare, once again, they've got to kind of act like, use their acting background and costumes and props. They've got to get all ready, like with that sort of thing. So they call on her friend Manya again, and her partner Valerie. So she notes that he does props, special effects, pyrotechnics, you name it. And I thought it was cool how she says that, and that actually sets up something that happens later, which we don't see coming at all. I didn't see coming.
And this was really tricky to write because I had to lay down enough groundwork so that when things happen, people understand what happened exactly,
Mm-hmm.
But I had to do it in such a way that I didn't give the game away. And it was a bit of a tightrope act getting this section right. I had to go through this a few times before I got it the way I wanted it.
I think it's perfect. It kind of planted the seed. Like you wonder, is there something else going on here? They have a trick up their sleeve that we don't know about yet when you see pyrotechnics, and it does come back later.
And the reason that Harry gets this idea is right at the beginning of this section. Lena talks about the fact that Boria has this dossier on him, and that means that they have a way to get out of the country. They have to call Fyodor, the guy with the fish, right? She's concerned that because they have the dossier on Harry, that they may know about Fyodor. So they have to be prepared that, somebody might be lying in wait when they get there. So that's what this is kind of setting up. It's like they don't know if that's going to happen, but they need some kind of plan in place just in case,
Right. Yeah. So, so this is what we've been building toward for the entire novel. This is what the main thing that Harry was sent there to do. This mission with the IRA, and planting the malware to stop their interference in the Canadian election. So, but to do it, they've got to use all the tricks in the book that actors can possibly use, disguises, props, and yes, maybe even pyrotechnics later on. So they dress him up, and they dress Harry up almost like Stalin looking, with a wig and facial hair and different eyebrows with spirit gum, and that's how actors get made up for theater shows.
And there's a little in joke here because Natasha, when she's finished, he says, "Jesus Christ, it's Stalin." And she says, "Herren's mustache, yes. Stalin. Face, no. Face is Shostakovich. Good mix, no." And then she laughs. And that's a little dig at Stalin because Shostakovich, of course, was composing during Stalin's period. And he was constantly getting in shit for writing stuff that Stalin didn't approve of and, thought he was pushing the end of the envelope too much. And both he and Prokofiev had a real hard time dealing with Stalin. Mm-hmm. So.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Just a little political in joke there.
Yeah. So yeah, they make him up. They put him in a uniform, and then Valerie gives Harry a pistol, a 9mm pistol. And Harry asks if it's real. Valerie says, "Yeah, standard issue from Ministry of Justice."
Oh, that's right. He's from the Ministry of Justice, this guy. that he's
Yes,
pretending to be. Yeah.
he's impersonating. And I could not help but think when he got this pistol, like, this is a Chekhov's gun. This is going to be used later. This has to be.
Well, they're in the right country, aren't they?
Yes, right? Chekhov. Yeah, so I just knew this is going to get used later. Um, a literal Chekhov's gun. So then they give him a fake ID. And let's see. And then let's see what else. Oh yeah, earpieces, microphones, which they test out, so that Harry can communicate with Lena from a distance because she's not going in there with him,
And
obviously.
one little thing about the ID that we need to know is that the magnetic strip on it is fake. So if they run it through a machine, he's screwed.
Mhm.
You know?
Yes. So yeah, you knew that was going to cause some tension reading that. And so then they set off on their mission. So they say goodbye to her friend Natasha and go on their way. And let's see. Then when they get there, so they meet up with Mikhail. And I like your description of him. He was younger than I expected, mid-30s, I guessed, and looked like he just stepped out of a GRU recruitment poster. 6'2", blonde, square-jawed, and built like a brick shit house. It was a colorful description. I liked that. Um, and he's basically Lena's assistant, I think. So and she's felt that he's in love with her for a long time. So she believed that he would help them for that
Right.
reason. And he's going to act as Harry's servant, essentially. So they drive down to the IRA building, and it's a really tense situation because Harry doesn't know much Russian at all, and he's just got to kind of fake his way through this, and do as little talking as possible. Just be kind of one of those men of few words, just all action and little talk. But so much could go wrong with this situation. Um, and
The one benefit he has, of course, is Lena's talking in his ear, translating everything that people around him are saying. So at least he knows what's going on, you know?
Right. Hmm. So yeah, so Lena's always in his ear translating, so that helps. Um, and when they get to the IRA building, there's a red van parked there with tinted windows. So that's immediately on Harry's radar. Like they're definitely like that. Someone is watching that building.
Mhm.
Probably watching for Lena, and she says not to worry about it, though, that they won't be paying attention to an official like him because he'll be wearing a uniform, um of a uniform of I always forget the name of this, what kind of official he is. A security, I think it's a security official. um
Well, he's from the Ministry of Justice.
the
Is
Ministry of Justice.
yeah.
Yeah. So he's uniformed, so she thinks that he won't attract attention from those guys going in.
And this is something
um
you need to know about Russia. Everybody wears a freaking uniform. There's uniforms everywhere you go. It's like, or at least, not so much now. In Soviet days, it was like unbelievably like that. But yeah, they're very fond of uniforms. So
right. So yeah, he's all decked out in his uniform, Harry, that is. And they go into the building, um, and he has like a close call with that ID with the magnetic strip. It doesn't work because it appears that the official does want to run his ID, and Harry hands it to him, but then Mikhail just kind of takes over, and yells something at him when he's just about to run his card. The guy just kind of, turns pale and hands his card back without saying anything. So, I guess I don't know what Mikhail said to him, but it must have been intimidating enough that he backed off. But yeah, tense moment there. And then Harry's going through a metal detector, worrying about the flash drive in his shoe. Of course, he's got that James Bond like device with a hidden compartment in his shoe for the flash drive, but it doesn't go off. They head into
they take his weapon from him, of course, so it doesn't go through the machine, and then they just give it back to him once he's gone through. But
right. So they do that, and then they head down to the area where the servers are, and and then Harry gets his flash drive out, loads it into the drive, and they get caught. As soon as he's about to click on the install button, a guy in uniform comes around the corner and yells at them in Russian. So they have to, like defend themselves against this guy. He immediately comes and aims his gun at them. And Mikhail yells back at him, but this time he's not, like, this guy is not buying whatever Mikhail is saying. And Harry has a really great idea. He just points his gun down the hall, pulls a trigger so that they both drop to the floor, and give Harry just enough time to click on that install button. He pulls the trigger twice, so they're both taking cover, and he has a chance to click on that button, and it's not much time, but it's just enough that he's able to click that button and set everything into motion that he was sent there to do, which is to install the malware on the IRA servers. But then they're in hot water after that point. And Lena says that the guy who's shooting at them or aiming his gun at them is their head of security, a guy named Bogdanov. And he says that you're both going to be executed for this. Yikes. Yeah, you don't want to be in trouble with Russian authorities. It's a very scary situation. That's terrifying. So they run, and and on the way out they shoot Mikhail in the thigh. So
no, Mikhail shoots Bogdanov in the thigh.
Yeah, Mikhail that's what I meant. Mikhail shoots Bogdanov in the thigh, and Harry's like, "You just shot the head of security." Yeah, and Mikhail's just very blasé about it, like, "Oh, he'll live." And all of a sudden he's speaking excellent English, so that's a surprise. Harry didn't even know that he could do that. But they have to work that out later. And then when they run upstairs, nobody else knows what's going on there, so they just have to kind of act natural and just make their way out of the building calmly. When they get outside, they're about to get away in the car when Bogdanov actually manages to come out the door, limping around, even though he's been shot, and alerts the three guys in the van who had been no, I don't think they're in the van, just three security guys behind him, and then points at Harry and Lena. And well, wait, no, Lena's not there. It's just Harry and Mikhail at this point. And he points at them, and then that van with I think it's Boria's guys, right? Who are in the van.
Oh yeah, totally.
And
as soon as they see, Bogdanov and the security guards, and Bogdanov's been shot, it's like, okay, they're the bad guys. Let's go get them.
Yep. Yeah. So now the chase is on. And so yeah, they drive off, and in the middle of the oh, we lost Scarlet. In the middle of the action sequence, Harry still manages to talk to Mikhail while they're driving off. He asks him, I wasn't expecting that. So Mikhail knows who Harry is already, and Lena told him everything. Lena said that they were going to go with a cover story to Mikhail and not tell him the truth about what's going on. But apparently Lena told him everything, and he agreed to help her, but not because he's in love with her. It turns out that she offered him 10 million US dollars. So that's the only reason that he's helping. And yeah, that was surprising.
Well, it's probably not the only reason, but yeah, it's the big one.
That's the biggest reason. Oh, hi, Shadow.
I just came back to like go to my other live. I was gonna do the alarm.
Oh, okay.
But I kept hitting the wrong buttons. I kept letting myself in and out. So
yeah, I saw that. I was like, I didn't know what was happening. Okay,
yeah, I gotta go run to my other live. So
okay, Scarlet,
kids
thanks
have
for
fun.
being here.
See you later.
Take it easy, Doug.
Good night, Scarlet.
Night.
Anyway, hi, Shadow Skull. Nice to see you. She said, "I'm sorry." They said, "I'm sorry, I missed the first bit." Oh, no worries. We're glad that you're here now. So anyway, so they're driving off, trying to lose these guys in the van who are following them, and let's see. And in the meantime, Harry explains to Lena through the earpiece what was happening. And they're trying to get back to where Lena is and pick her up. But at first, when they try to do it the first time, the van shows up behind them, so they've got to take off and lose them again, and then make their way back around and then finally pick up Lena. So, yeah, a lot of tension. This would make a great action sequence. That whole bit at the IRA building, and then the chase scene. I could see this happening in a movie, Doug.
And all the descriptions of this neighborhood, these are real streets, and this is a real bit of geography. Here.
Oh,
Spent a lot of time on Google Maps putting this together.
yeah. That's awesome. It sounds like you actually know your way around there. Like you've been to these areas, but these actually aren't areas that you visited yourself, right?
No, and even if I had, that would have been 50 years ago. I wouldn't have remembered any of it. But no, I just wanted to have a really clear. I knew basically what part of town the IRA, where I've placed that building is fictional because they've moved around a few times, and I'm not even sure where they are now. But that whole neighborhood surrounding it, that's exactly as described, basically.
Yeah, I mean you have a detailed description of river that they're driving along, one-way streets, and so you can picture it. You can picture it easily. And they make their way back around finally and pick up Lena. But then they they're not out of the woods yet. They still have to get out of the country, and that's a tall order under the circumstances because the airports are being watched by of course, I mean, you have to assume the airports are being watched by the authorities because they're fugitives. They've been framed for murder, Harry and Lena. So Harry's got to find a payphone to call Pete. Wait, is it Pete? No, it's not Pete. He's got to call
Fyodor.
He's not going to be able to call Pete until this thing is over. But yeah, he has to call this contact that Pete gave him the info for, Fyodor, who helps people get out of the country. And Lena is always just kind of celebrating a little too soon. She she tells Harry when she gets in the car with him, she's like, she slips her arm around his waist and says, "I can't believe we got away with that." Like, no, don't celebrate yet. Harry says, we haven't gotten away with anything yet. We've still got to get out of the country.
Yeah.
Um, but she seems so smitten with him that she's just so happy to be with him, and it almost seems to cloud her judgment a bit sometimes, make her a little short-sighted seemingly, but she winds up being more on top of things than I expected in the end. um Hey, Jen Hack, good day to you too, down under. Nice to see you.
Good idea.
um So Harry and Lena, they find a payphone, and they call Fyodor, and he says his deal. I need to see a man about some fish, which is which is the code for he needs help getting out of the country. Um, and the guy gives him an address. They get back in the car, and they head to Cotland Island, in Neva Bay. Um, so and then on the way, let's see, they discuss his escape. He explains what happened, um and what happened to Bogdanov, and Lena says that she's been moving the billions of dollars that she stole from her husband Boria, over the place, so that he can't trace it. She's already started. And so that's another caper in and of itself. They also stole billions of dollars from this oligarch. And so they're on the run for multiple reasons at this point.
Mm-hmm.
There's that, there's the murder that they've been framed for, and the planting of the malware, and now shooting the head of security down at IRA. So that's quite a rap sheet if they were to get caught.
No kidding.
I love how you just stacked all of those stakes higher and higher. It's way more intense than the original mission, which was already extremely risky. You added a lot of complications to it, a lot of things that went wrong along the way.
Well, because that's how it goes in real life. I mean, the problem with a lot of caper movies. I mean, I love the Ocean's 11, the Ocean's movies, 11, 12, and 13. Not so much 12, but 11 and 13 are awesome. But the thing is, when you actually examine those capers, the number of things that have to go, and yeah, of course they have things that go wrong, but I mean, they're always like little bumps on the road. But the number of things that have to go absolutely right for those incredibly complicated scenarios to work, they're just like, it would never, ever, ever happen that way in real life. I mean, anyone who's been in the military will tell you, like every plan is perfect until the first gunshot, and then it all just goes out the window, like that. It just doesn't work that way in real life. It's much more like this. I mean, these guys are lucky they get away with what they do,
They really are. And it's not over yet. There's still more complications that are going to be coming their way.
Oh, yes.
And I think so. I thought this was really realistic. Things don't go according to plan. They don't go smoothly at all. There are all kinds of things that are unexpected. Jen said, "LOL, that was good, Doug. Your accent, your Australian accent. Doug is good at accents. That is one of your talents." So Selena wants to know about Chantal. She asks Harry how they met, and she wants to know about her competition, as she calls it. She really is smitten with Harry. And he tells her all about it, about how he met Chantal, which was described in the first book, The Poor Player, back at the academy for CSIS, how Chantal was teaching him French, and they had their first romantic encounter the night before she left without even saying goodbye. And then 30 years later, they got back in touch, and when his book was published, and they picked up where they left off. It's quite a love story, and yeah, but then they get on the subject of, moving in together, and why exactly he's dragging his feet on moving in with Chantal. Yeah, she has a beautiful place that she lives in Montreal, but he doesn't want to live there. And his place in Toronto is too small, and he can't afford a bigger place, and doesn't feel it's right to ask her to sell her home in Montreal in case they don't make it. Moving in together, it's a big commitment, and she'd be giving up a lot. You don't really know. I mean, his concerns are valid, because you don't know exactly what it's going to be like to live together until you do. All kinds of things can come up that you don't expect. It tests a relationship big time. So it's understandable, but Lena has the same accusation that Chantal had, which is, no, this is about commitment for you. That's why you're dragging your feet. This is about commitment. Like, he's afraid of commitment. But I think his concerns make sense, though. I think they're reasonable. Maybe he's a little afraid of commitment too. Maybe it's a mix of the two.
And that's sort of what I was aiming for. I mean, I think that, yeah, I agree. I think his reasons, while practical, are perfectly understandable. But underneath that, it's like, no. If you were truly smitten, you would find a way to make this work. It's that simple.
Right, exactly. Especially after so many years of waiting for a relationship like this, and being reunited against all odds after all these years. Just do it, just get off the dime and do it, and be together. That's what they need.
But
This?
we will revisit this issue.
Yes. uh what is this? It's great till it's foobar. I don't know what does that mean?
FUBAR,
Yeah.
fucked up beyond all repair. It's an acronym.
Oh, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it comes from the military, I think. I think that's what
Oh,
it is.
there. Jen said, I assume most military use the term FUBAR, effed up beyond all recognition. Okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah, recognition, repair. You'll hear both versions. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, moving on. Um, they get to Fyodor's place, and it's right along a pier. He's got a sailboat, and the guy himself, Fyodor, reminds Harry of Istvan.
It's not a sailboat. There's a sailboat there, but his boat is like a big fishing boat,
Oh, okay. It's a fishing boat that's his.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then the guy reminds him of Istvan, who I remember from the first book, a crazy Hungarian director that Harry worked with in Calgary. He's got a big black beard and over 6 feet tall. Istvan was a fun character back at the academy, right? That was one of his instructors, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was his director. He was
Yes.
his Calgary. Yeah.
Yeah, one of his directors. And then so they, now they know they're going by boat. They really didn't know what was going to happen. But so they're going to be going by boat and heading to Finland, and that's really all they know. It's a long ride, a long boat ride, about 200 kilometers from their location, and and when they first get there, Fyodor freaks out at first because he sees the uniform that Harry's wearing, and he thinks that they've come to arrest him. The fucking Canadians betrayed him. So that was funny. He the little misunderstanding. Harry's like, no, we're not cops. And he recognizes Lena from TV, from the illicit deep fake video that was on TV. But and then so Fyodor says he's going to get rid of their car. They can take their bags onto the boat, and there's sorry, that's Carl's dad out here. So what was I? Where was I? So he says that there's a little problem, and the guy says, because of you two, there's much security. Usually you could stay in cabin below deck, but boats leaving bay are being searched. I must hide you under the herring. I was like, what does this mean? Are they literally going to be under, like, laying with a bunch of fish on top of them? At first, that's what I was literally picturing, that they're going to be laying under a pile of fish. It'd be a nasty way to travel. But it's not literally that. But Harry's reaction sounded like he was thinking the same thing. He's like, under the fish? He says, how do we breathe? The guy says, no, not with the fish, under them. And then he shows them down into the boat. Deep down under it, there's a crawl space at the bottom that's kind of hidden, and that's where they're going to be. And the fish are kind of oriented above them, so the place reeks of fish, but they're not literally laying with fish on them. So there's just like a little 70s era looking rec room in a crawl space with a cot, a lazy boy, a big flat screen TV on the wall. It's just so weird. It's so quirky and strange. They literally could just lay there and watch videos through Wi-Fi, Amazon Prime, HBO, Netflix. I just love the absurdity of this. It's so funny and unexpected.
and not far from the truth at all.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I liked that little twist.
And just to clarify, it's not exactly a crawl space. It's just, you have the hold where the fish are, and then there's just a whole section of the boat underneath that, right? And there are probably other area, mechanical areas and stuff like that. And there is this space. It's not huge, but it's, you're not like walking around hunched over. You could stand up there and stuff because it's a 60-inch TV. It's got to fit this big TV. So it's like a little rec room, basically,
Right. And then there's a tiny space connected to it with a toilet where they can go. So it's only the size of a shower stall. It has a toilet and a sink. So and that's hidden pretty well too. And that becomes important soon after.
Yeah, it doesn't have like a proper door. It's just a piece of if you know where to go, there's a piece of the paneling that just, the wood paneling, you just pull on it and the door comes open, right? But you wouldn't know it to look at it. It just looks like it's all wood panel,
Yeah. It's just so odd to picture at the bottom of a fishing boat, a 70s looking wood paneled rec room, just hanging out down there with a flat screen TV. Love it.
Reeking of dead fish.
Reeking of dead fish. Red herrings.
Indeed.
Yes. Hey Trace, nice to see you. So, let's see. So they have just a cot and a single sized cot. So they'd have to use that in shifts. And a lazy boy. And then Lena goes back to get her, that's it, her bag that she left on the pier. And she's been gone a while. So Harry starts to wonder what's going on when he hears her call him, and her voice sounds urgent. So he runs up there, and who does he find but Volkov, her husband, standing behind her, holding her arm. And Fyodor is out of sight. So that's a nasty surprise. I wasn't expecting that. Maybe the guys in the van could have caught up with them, but I didn't think him, Volkov, would be showing up. But I love that you did that, because it allows for a final showdown to happen. A final showdown between them and a villain, which is always great in these types of stories.
And of course, this is why we had to plant the stuff about the dossier and how Fyodor might be compromised, because as far as Volkov is concerned, yes, he is. Volkov knows about Fyodor. That's how he manages to get there.
Right. So that's a great payoff to that. And so the final showdown begins, and Volkov smiles at Harry, saying, "Nice costume," looking at his outfit. And then here comes the Chekhov's gun. Harry pulls out his 9mm gun, points it at him, and says, "It's not a costume, it's the real thing." But Volkov says, "So is this," reveals he has a gun in his other hand, and points it at Lena's head and threatens to shoot her if Harry doesn't put his down. But Harry is just so cool in this, terrifying moment. He knows exactly how to handle it. He tells him, I wouldn't recommend that, not if you ever want to see your money again. And Lena is the only one who knows where the money is. She's the one who stole it from Volkov, and she is the only one who could give it back. So, of course, Volkov doesn't want to believe him, saying, "You did this together, so you must know where it is." But Harry says, "Okay, don't believe me. Go ahead and shoot her, but you'll never see a penny of your money if you do." Which is, I'm sure, not easy to just, to act like he doesn't care. And, obviously he cares deeply for Lena, but he just says, "Go ahead, shoot her. You'll never get your money." And this is a Russian oligarch who obviously values money highly. The guy doesn't believe him. He says, "You're bluffing. You would never allow me to kill your true love." And Harry just laughs, saying, "Where'd you get that idea from? Come on, you read my dossier. You know why I'm here, to get her out of the country." Um, and Volkov says she's no good to them as a corpse, meaning CSIS. So he knows that Harry needs her alive, not dead. Which is true, but Harry points out that she's no use to him that way either if she's dead. So Volkov says, "Oh, it appears we're at an impasse." But Harry makes a great point that Lena isn't really the main objective here. I mean, yeah, they wanted her to defect. Canada wanted her to defect, like they did before, but the main reason he was sent there was to stop the IRA from what they were doing using the malware, and he already accomplished his goal. So, go ahead and shoot her. But he says, "Once you do, I'll shoot you." And so either way, Volkov's going to end up dead. If he shoots her, Harry will shoot him, and if Volkov tries to shift his aim and shoot Harry instead, Harry can shoot him first because he's already got his gun pointed at him. So he's got him. He's got the tactical advantage, as Harry says. It's clear that he hasn't lost his touch as a spy. He's been retired for a while, but this is great, a great chess move that he's playing on this guy. The psychology of how he's approaching this, and being able to hide how he's actually feeling and just act like he doesn't care.
Yeah.
So
It's the actor in him.
yeah, being an actor proves really useful in situations like this for him. So and he says he doesn't care about the money either. He won't. He wasn't. He wasn't there to steal money from Volkov. That was Lena's thing. So the guy finally just surrenders. He bends to set his gun down, and as soon as he does that, Lena goes to pick up the gun and then steps on his foot. And then there's a pretty wild twist. I was like, I was pretty shocked at what happened next. Lena says thanks, Harry, and she goes and takes Volkov's gun and shoves it into his ribs and tells him to drop his gun. This really had me fooled. This really, I thought this was for real. What's happening right now? I thought she was actually turning on him, and she's just been an incredible actress pretending that she cares for him this whole time. You got me. I was completely fooled by this. I mean, I was shocked by what Lena was doing, but I was also fooled into believing it, that she was this was all a ruse, that she doesn't care about him, and she's she said that she's gaining her freedom from Volkov, from Harry, from both of their governments, Russia and Canada. She says, don't I don't want to shoot you, but I will if I have to Harry. I couldn't believe that. It's an amazing performance the two of them put on. She says that I'll never be free if I go with you. CSIS will have me under a microscope for years to come. And if I stay here, I'll be running from this one for the rest of my life, meaning Volkov. And Harry doesn't understand what's going on, seemingly. He's like, you don't have to shoot anybody. Why do this? We were home free. She'll never be free, she claims, if she goes with him, though. And she says, I've got $12 billion. I can go anywhere I want. She doesn't need him. And technically, she could have done this. She could have turned on Harry, taken the $12 billion and left if she wanted to. So, yeah, I believed it. I thought, well, maybe she had in my mind as I was reading this, I thought maybe this is a grudge that she held against Harry all these years for what happened to her, how she was almost home free when she defected the first time. And Harry assured her that CSIS would take care of her, that everything would be fine. She would live in Canada, and that's not what happened at all. CSIS botched it through no fault of Harry's. They botched it. Two guys escorted her on some scenic route, and ultimately the Russians nabbed her, took her back, and her life has been miserable ever since. She was in prison. She had to get taken, she got pardoned or whatever, freed only because of Volkov falling in love with her. And since he was such a powerful oligarch, he paid off the right people and got her freed. She had to be married to this guy she didn't love for all these years. He cheated on her. He was abusive. So I thought, well, maybe she blames Harry and not just the Canadian authorities, but Harry for all this. So,
which is a concern that Harry expresses right at the beginning when Pete suggests that he do this mission. And he's like, how do you know she isn't going to betray me if I go and get her? She may be holding a grudge, as you say.
exactly. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking, and that was a reasonable concern to have. This could have actually happened for real, as we'll
Yeah.
see in a moment. It turns out to be a ruse, a really clever ruse. But yeah, it made total sense to me that she would do this, but I was still shocked because she's always come off as it's entirely genuine in the way that she feels about Harry. Even after everything that's happened, she never seemed like she blamed him. She's got a soft spot for him all along.
Yeah.
But
But hey, $12 billion. I mean,
yeah, she's got $12 billion. She could do whatever she wants. She doesn't need Harry, but so then so Harry takes a step back and slips and falls back down. Volkov dives for Harry's gun, and Harry scrambles to try to get a hold of it. They fight over the gun. Lena's yelling at them to freeze and drop the gun, or she'll shoot both of them. And then Harry's gun goes off. Lena falls backward, and there's a red stain on the front of her uniform. It appears that she's been shot in the heart and is gonna die. Incredible. Volkov freaks out, goes to her, saying she needs help, she needs a hospital. And Harry says, "Look, she's done. She got it in the heart. Look at her. You happy now? You can kiss your billions goodbye. You just killed the only person who knew how to access them." And Volkov is devastated. I know it really seemed like he also it wasn't
Schmolkov.
it really it's Carl. It really seemed like he was devastated because he does love her even after everything that she's done. He's crying, and it can't just be the money. Even though this guy is despicable, he's always loved this woman and never received her love in return. But Harry says, it's going to be hard to, I understand your concern, going to be hard to make your payments on all those loans from your mob pals now, isn't it? But Volkov says, you understand nothing. I loved her more than anything in this world. And it seems kind of believable in his own twisted way. He did love her. And Harry advises him to start running because his friends are going to come looking for their money soon, meaning the mob guys he owes money to. So, he finally gives in to his instinct for self-preservation, and he takes off. He gets in his car and runs away. And then the moment he leaves, Harry stands there, then looks at Lena and says, "Okay, he's gone." And she just opens an eye like, "Really?" He says, "The coast is clear." Oh, and it was all a clever, incredible ruse. It was an acting performance. They used it's a, what is this? A form of is it a form? It's a pyrotechnic charge and blood pack that they used to look like blood, like he shot her.
It's called the squib. It's what they use in movies when someone gets shot, and it's a little miniature kind of explosive device. It's shielded, so of course the explosion only comes out this way. But yeah, it's usually fixed with a blood pack, and you press a button, and it's an electric charge that sets it off, and boom, and it's very realistic looking, and there's blood all over the place, and yeah, you look like you've been shot.
That's awesome. Wow. they nailed it. I mean, what a performance. They tapped into their acting chops for that one.
Speaking of theater, I had to get shot in a Agatha Christie murder mystery that I did my second year at Shaw, and they were having the hardest time coming up with a convincing way, because you can't use squibs in theater. It's a film thing, and they gave me this one sort of this big bag that was supposed to. I was wearing a white sweater, and I was supposed to like hit it, and the blood was supposed to splash all over the place. It didn't work at all. It just looked totally fake and everything. And then I finally said, I have the perfect way to do this. The scene took place in the library, and I said, here's what all you got to do. I'll take a book, and you just have to gut the inside of the book, and inside it, we'll take a condom filled with blood, cut it off so it's a small thing, fill it with blood, fold it over, and put an elastic band on it. And then all I have to do is when I turn towards the person with the gun, the condom would be in the book like this. I roll it into my palm. I grab the top of the condom and just pull it, and the elastic comes off. And when the gun goes off, I go, ugh, and it goes all over me. And it worked perfectly. It looked exactly like I was getting shot. It was amazing. It was the most low-tech thing you could imagine.
Wow, that's awesome. That was just a live theater production that they used that for?
Yep.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yes, and that show ran I think I had to do that about 170 times. So,
Oh my God.
lots of practice at it.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Like that would be a really fun scene to act.
Yeah, it was. It was cool.
Yes, the water balloon approach.
Yeah, totally.
Yep. Jen said Alien is Squib City. Yes, it is. There's a lot of that. Good night to Lori. You have a good evening too.
Good night, Lori.
Jen said, "Do you think that actors are more convincing at lying?" Seems right, ability-wise.
People ask that all the time, and I don't think it's true at all. I really don't.
Yeah.
I know lots of actors who are terrible liars. The thing that people forget is that when you're lying as an actor, you're doing something that's been rehearsed. You've had lots of opportunity to perfect it and get it just the way you want it. We can't just do that off the top of our heads like sociopaths can, because we're not built that way. We need rehearsal. It's yeah, but it's such a common perception. It's amazing. Everybody thinks that we would make great con artists.
Right. You could just tap into your acting ability on the fly anytime you wanted to lie about something. But it does take rehearsal. You're not natural liars. I can see that.
I mean, I suppose if a bunch of con artists roped an actor into participating with them and had a chance to prepare them and all that kind of stuff and give them a script and a character and a backstory and all that kind of stuff, yeah, they would probably take to that reasonably well. I mean, Harry is kind of walking proof of that. His acting ability comes in handy in situations like this. But again, they had this story prepared when this happens.
Right.
They worked this out. They knew exactly what they were going to do.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure they
And of
talked
course, we
through.
don't get any of the details of that because you can't give the game away, but they would have rehearsed this very carefully. I mean, what I love about this scene is that there is a gun there for Valerie or for Volkov and Harry to fight over. But even if Volkov wins the fight, he's got a gun full of blanks, so it's not going to kill anybody,
Right.
So it looks on the surface when this happens, it looks really dangerous that, Volkov may get his hands on this gun and shoot both of them. Right. But it's like, well, he can try, but it's not going to do much,
Yep. Harry said, "I told him the gun was real. I didn't say anything about the bullets."
Yeah.
That's right. Very clever. Jen said, "Interesting. Thank you." And I guess a condom works too. Yeah, that'll work. And in lieu of a water balloon. That's so cool. Yeah, I mean,
Of course, when you think about it, that's kind of the precise opposite of what a condom is originally intended for.
yeah, it's not supposed to be exploding. God forbid, no. It's not supposed to happen. But anyway, Jen had said, oh, it's a mild summer afternoon in the backyard there in Australia.
Lucky
Oh,
you.
God, yes, indeed. It's still bitter winter over here. Although it's a little better these days. It's spring is kind of in the air around here. We're getting a mild stretch right now.
It was a relatively mild winter's day here today too. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're getting there. And it's not quite Friday yet, but we're close for me. It'll be Friday in an hour and 20 minutes.
20 minutes here. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I think Australia is 16 hours ahead of us.
Depending on where you are, there's a few time zones there. So yeah, Perth is not as far ahead of us as the East Coast is.
It's so weird to think of how their seasons are flipped and their summer is in our winter. It always trips me out.
Mm.
Carl says, wait, they're not supposed to explode. I've been using them wrong. Yes. You don't want that to happen. Anyway, so yeah, I loved this twist. It was like a double fake out on the reader, you know, a double twist. First you think, oh my God, she's you know, she's stabbing Harry in the back. Lena's stabbing Harry in the back and turning on him, and then oh, never mind, fake out. It was all just a show, tricking us and Volkov in real time. That was fun. Like, how did you think of the double twist? Like, how did that come to you? Was that something you had planned way ahead of time, or did that kind of
No,
unfold, surprise you?
I honestly can't remember at this point, but this was one of those things that sort of came to me when I needed it. Like, well, not immediately. I had to think about it, but I thought, okay, we have to find a way to get rid of Volkov. Either we kill him, or we completely we take his power away completely. And of course, the best way to do that is to get his money and not let him get it back, because you know the mob will take care of this guy, you know, pretty quickly. The mobs, I should say, the people he owes the money to. I mean, you know, they're like he's gonna end up with the herring, you know, pretty definitely, I think. So just by taking his money away, and making sure that he doesn't get it back, you know, that they don't have to worry about killing him, because somebody will take care of that for him. And even if he does survive, even if he manages to escape the mobs, what's he going to do? He's powerless. He has no money. He's not going to be able to come after them, you know. So this
Right.
just seems like the perfect way to do it. Let's find a way to, you know, and all the stuff about she's the only one who knows how to get the money. That's absolutely true. Harry doesn't know how to do any of that, you know, so he doesn't have to lie about any of that. I mean, that's a great thing about a good con. You use as much truth as you possibly can, you know.
Yes. Yeah. That's right. You know, the best lies have a kernel of truth in them. So
But when he comes up with the plan, that's why he says to Valeri, I need to talk to you about something. And he's asking him, can you set up a squib, and can we do the fake gun thing and all of that, you know?
right.
And it isn't until he finds out that, yes, we've got the ability to do that, that he then comes up with the plan and shares it with Lena. But of course, we don't get to see any of that.
Right. But you planted the seed there earlier where Valeri said that, you know, he has pyrotechnics, or it's mentioned that he also does pyrotechnics as one of his things.
Well,
And
again, from a film point of view, that makes total sense. This would be the guy who had that stuff, you know?
And I think I may have skipped over it, but wasn't there a part where Harry had an idea of something something that they could use in case something goes wrong? Like he alluded to something, and
Well,
he talked to that's where he talked to Valeri, right?
yes, it's when Lena says, or he brings up the dossier, and,
Yes.
and says that because they've got his dossier, they might know about Fyodor. And if they know about Fyodor, there might be somebody waiting for them there. It's not likely, but it's possible, and that gets him thinking, oh yeah, we have to do something about that. And then he gets the idea.
Right. And he talks to him about something, but then it's not shared with us as the reader.
No.
And so it turns out to be, so I knew that it was setting up something, that there was going to be a complication that happened at some point, and they're going to pull something up out of their sleeve. But I never expected what actually came to pass. It was extremely effective.
And what's cool about moments like that is, like, if you bought it as a reader, then it's easy to believe that Volkov did too.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It conned both the reader and Volkov at the same time.
Yeah.
Hi there with
It's kind of like
Alice.
what happens in The Sting, the
Oh,
ending of
yeah.
The Sting is exactly that,
Mm-hmm. Hi with Alice. Nice to see you. Hey there, Faith. Please hit the like. Yes, thank you so much for the support. Please hit the like. That would be much appreciated. Help people find the stream. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry, Faith. Sorry, my dad just died today. An evil mother demands dinner. Oh, my deepest condolences on the loss of your dad, Faith. That's devastating. I'm so sorry.
I'm very sorry to hear that, Faith.
Oh my goodness. And yet here she is in the chat showing some support. Thank you so much. I can't even imagine. I mean, I can't imagine because I've experienced it myself just last year, but yeah, it's devastating. So sorry, Faith. Jen said, I knew a pyrotechnics guy who had a funny t-shirt. If you see me running, keep up. Oh. Yeah. Yikes. Anyway, let's see. But getting back to the scene, so they move on with their plan, the rest of their plan to get out of there, which is still the same. They're going to be traveling by boat with Fyodor, Harry and Lena, and they go down underneath the fish, as he said, in the little rec room, and then they have a few hours until they reach the Gulf of Finland, and then he can let them out of there once they get away from the Russian patrols.
Right.
So yeah, so they go down in there, and then he lowers the fish over the room where they are. So they have that lovely smell of herring filling the whole room the entire time that they're stuck down there.
Just
But
one little bit that happens in the scene, like right after Volkov leaves, and Fyodor sticks his head up, and he says, "You're okay," and everything, and and she says, "Yeah," and he looks and he goes, "Я понимаю," which is Russian for "I understand," and he says, "It was a show." I love the economy of that line,
Yes.
I say, yes, that's right, Fyodor. A show.
A show. Yes, it sums it up. It sums it up so perfectly and concisely.
Yeah.
It was indeed a show. They used all of their theater chops to do that show, to put on that show. So they get comfortable. They get ready to watch some TV down in the little rec room in the boat, and Lena says a little Netflix and chill. And he's like, you know that expression, do you? Well, a little Netflix anyway, because we all know Netflix and chill is not just watching TV. Typically, she seems like she's trying to seduce him a little bit, still, saying there are no cameras here, not like last time anyway.
Exactly.
This time, no one will ever know. Um, but he says, I'm sorry. I just can't do that. It's Chantal. He says, I told you commitment wasn't the problem. He wants to stay true to her, and make this work and commit to Chantal. So he doesn't cheat on her, and I was glad that he didn't do that. I was proud of him for not doing that, even though it was tough because he did have a connection with her at one time. They had a history together. So but he doesn't do it. And I like how he says, this has been the bane of my love life for as long as I can remember. She says, what has? He says, my shitty timing. My shitty timing. And that, it's always bad timing when he connects with people, it seems. It never happens when it should. And, that's how he wound up, like meeting Chantal kind of at the wrong time. And it took them 30 years to finally get back together.
Yes.
You
And
know,
Olivia, same thing with Olivia,
yeah, it's the same thing. So they set sail, and then they watch Young Frankenstein. I know that's one of your favorite movies, Doug.
Absolutely.
And Harry is distracting her by saying all the lines out loud, and he says, am I doing that?" He didn't even realize he was doing it. You can do that too, can't you? You could quote that movie.
That's totally a dig at myself, that moment. Yes, absolutely.
I knew it. We did a watch party for Young Frankenstein in my Discord once, with you in attendance, and I know that's one of your favorites.
He was my boyfriend. Yes, it's just a brilliant movie.
I loved it. Yeah, what a classic. Um, so they have another one last scare when the Russian patrols board the boat,
Uh-huh.
and search it, which I figured was going to happen. So they search really thoroughly, and they're like banging around all over the place trying to find any kind of like trap doors or secret rooms or anything like that. And Harry and Lena are listening to the whole thing, and then they hear that they hear them tell Fyodor to lift the fishing net out of the hold, which means that they're going to come down into the rec room area and look around. They're looking for a trap door. So they come down, and indeed that they tell Fyodor to lift the floor, and they're going to come down and into the trap door, through the trap door, that is. So Harry thinks quickly, and they grab their luggage. He gets them both, crams them both into the tiny little bathroom area. She's got to stand on the toilet, because it's so small, like they can't even both stand in there. And they just breathlessly hide, and listen while the Russians search the rec room. Another really tense scene. Um, and but miraculously they don't find the secret. Not It's not quite a secret bathroom, but it is hard to find. Like you said, you'd have to slide a panel in the wall, right?
Well, it's the way it works is this. It's like, because it's wood paneling, you know what wood paneling looks like, right? You have the little grooves between the panels of fake wood. And you could have a door there and not even know it, because if the seam in the door is in one of those, bits between the panels, you have no way of seeing it. There's no handle on the outside, right? So Harry's in there with her, and he's just holding the door closed, and hoping that nobody comes. I mean, they would have to kind of dig their fingers in to find the seam and pull the door open. But even if they try that, he's there holding it. So chances are they're not going to find him. But that's kind of what I had in mind.
Right. So they narrowly avoid getting caught down there. Hey Mackie, nice to see you. He says, "Hey Doug, hey Julie."
Hi, Maggie.
Frau. That's one of the characters from Young Frankenstein.
Yes.
Nice. Good night, Shadow Skull. She says, Shadow says, I'm going to have to come back and watch the rewatch. I gotta go. Doug, Julie, everyone. It is so good to see y'all. Have a good night, and you have all of our loves and happy wishes.
Night, Shadow.
Faith said, I'm just gonna listen, let Julie's voice and Doug's words fill my feelings. Oh, Faith.
That's hard.
I hope we can at least bring you some comfort in some way, some positive distraction. I mean, nothing can really help at this time. I mean, I went through the loss of my dad last year, and I mean, it's just eviscerating to lose a parent under any circumstances. So, but if there's anything that we can do to take your mind off of things, even just for a moment, and just get some solace, that I hope we can do that for you, and the same going forward in the lives. Just take care of yourself, and good luck with your mom. I'm sorry that you're dealing with issues at home on top of it. Amy said, sinus infection flared back up, making me tired, but other than that, I'm doing okay. Well, feel better, Amy. Hope you feel better soon. Anyway, so yeah, the Russians leave, and they're out of the woods. They're able to climb out of the nasty fish scented room, and lay down in some bunk beds instead.
And the fish get dumped too, so there's that.
Yeah, they have to dump. The Russians make him dump the fish, huh?
Well, he explains that's why he's out, because the fish are rotten. He can't sell them. He's come out just to dump the fish. That's his cover story.
Right.
So they let him do it.
Right. So yeah, they come out, and they let's see, they lay down in the bunk beds, and Lena once again seems to be making a pass at Harry. She doesn't seem to give up. She puts on a negligee. You okay, Carl? I have wires all over the place here. So she puts on a negligee that's pretty revealing, and he's just about to say goodnight to her when then she climbs up and joins him in his bunk, snuggling up to him. And she promises that she's not, trying to make a move. She says she just wants him to hold her. So he does. He agrees to that, at least. And she's worried about what's going to happen to her when they get to Canada, just like last time. And she has good reason to be concerned after the disaster that happened the last time she defected. And he tells her that they're going to do an extensive debrief of her right away, and then she wants to know what happens after, though. And what she wants, she can't have, which is to be with Harry. She's going to be alone. And she's worried, she's going to be alone forever. She's only found love once with him 25 years before, and doesn't think she'll ever find it again. But Harry points out, come on, a hottie like you and a billionaire to boot, she's gonna find somebody. And she is gonna give away most of the money, though. She's giving away most of it to charity. But you know, it's sad. It's bittersweet. You know, she wants to be with him, but you know, he's taken. He's committed to Chantal, um, and he, you know, he can't help but worry about the road not taken. What would have happened if they had reconnected sooner, and they were both free and single, but it didn't happen. So the two of them just have to live with that.
Yeah.
You know, so she gets back in her own bunk and they say goodnight, and that's that.
You know, this scene is just basically there to make life as difficult for Harry as possible.
Yeah. Harry can never have it easy. Never. Even when they're home free now, they're on their way back, you know, from Russia, there's still complications. Chen said, did they have a shower first? They probably reek of herring. Oh man.
Well, in fact, we'll there is more of that to come.
Oh. And let's see. Oh, Mackie said your writing is super fire, honestly, Doug. And sorry, Amy. I hope the best for you. Yeah. Yes, I agree with Mackie. Your writing is fire, Doug. As the kids say nowadays. So anyway, so we move on to the next scene. They wake up they wake up and they're in the Gulf of Finland. Fyodor prepares them more Russian food. So we've got kielbasa and cheese for sandwiches, and another full of serniki,
Yes.
cottage cheese pancakes. It sounds a little weird for me, but I'm picky. What can I say? With jam and sour cream and porridge. And there's coffee maker and samovar.
I should
What
say
is?
and a samovar. It's for making tea.
Oh, okay.
Samovars are ubiquitous in Russia. Everybody has a samovar.
Yeah.
Tea is a big deal.
So they sit down and eat, and they tell Fyodor all about the wild events of the day before. And he compares them to Kardashians, makes some obscene gestures because of the wild deep fake sex tape that they had.
Yeah.
Like Kim Kardashian. And he's like, you can never be spies anymore, you're too famous. And yeah, so they don't get to shower yet. They put on clean clothes, but they still smell like fish. At least Lena says that. And then Harry quotes The Tempest, a very ancient and fish-like smell. Which is, yeah, like Harry says, apropos given where they are. But the voyage in The Tempest did not turn out well at all. I read that in college. Jen said, I named my son Finn, but for the Gaelic reasons. My Finnish friends still like his name, though. Oh, it's cool. I like that name. So basically, they pull into port, and they didn't have their passports stamped in Russia, but they're understanding there. There's somebody from the Canadian Customs Office to drive them to Helsinki, to the airport, and the customs officers accept their story, stamp their passports, and they're welcomed into Finland. There's a woman, Margaret Hastings from the embassy in Helsinki, who arranges their ride to the airport, and she she's like, she has a funny reaction because it's obvious she's seen their supposed sex tape, and she keeps kind of peeking at them through the rearview mirror, but she doesn't bring up the subject. And yeah, so she's pretty intrigued over that. Then she brings them to these two men who are going to take them to the airport, Meyer and Jenkins. And and I thought it was funny how Hastings, she gave her number on a business card to Harry, saying, "If you're ever back in Helsinki, give me a call," and winks at him. Because the man in the deep fake video was very well endowed.
Indeed.
Yeah, but it was not Harry. It was a deep fake. Um,
And she'll never know.
she'll she'll never know. So they head toward the airport, and they pick up some clothes. Lena gets herself a whole new wardrobe. She didn't even bring any clothes with her. And Harry gets a new iPhone from these guys who deliver it to him, from Pete. And there's one number stored in there for him to call Pete. So he finally gets to call him and let him know that they made it to the airport, he and Lena. And Harry calls Meyer and Jenkins Mutt and Jeff, which is funny. Are Mutt and Jeff there with you? No, Meyer and Jenkins, yeah, they're here. And Harry fills him in a little bit on the previous day, and he's not happy to hear about how Lena roped him into helping her steal Volkov's billions of dollars. But Harry, Harry says it did make sense, though. Taking his money meant taking him off the board permanently as an oligarch. This really ruins him, and now he can't come after her in any way. So it worked out fine, the fact that they did that. And and he relays the whole story too. So Pete is like, "I'm just trying to picture the two of you lying there while Volkov was busy boinking his girlfriend." Yeah, that very memorable scene with Harry and Lena laying under the bed, while she's Lena stealing his money, and Volkov is with his girlfriend right above them. And then he tells Pete about the confrontation at the boat, with Volkov, and Pete predicts that Volkov will wind up found dead soon, because of the Russian mobs that he owes money to. But Harry thinks that no, he'll probably get out of this. He's a survivor. Pete lets Harry know that the IRA program, the malware, was successful. But he doesn't say any more than that. Just watch the news. Oh, no, he tells him. What am I saying? Yeah, he tells him. He says the shit. He says, "Haven't you seen the news?" And he says the shit hit the fan almost immediately. They don't have the whole story yet, but the media have managed to dig up the fact that the IRA troll accounts on social media were getting shut down by the hundreds. They've been focusing on the pornography angle. All those naughty pictures showing up on Facebook really got people into a tizzy. So it worked. The malware did what it was supposed to do. The CSE people are not happy about the dirty picture aspect that Lena added to it, but it made sense, though, and Pete has to admit that that's what got the press interested in the first place, the dirty pictures. they started looking into it, and then they figured out that the accounts were all based in Russia, and they were being removed en masse. And it wasn't long before they connected that to the IRA. But they didn't figure out who was behind the whole thing. That CSIS was behind the whole thing, and hopefully, like as Pete says, they won't ever figure it out. The media thinks maybe it was an inside job that one of the oligarchs was trying to target Volkov, who owns the IRA. And they haven't tied it to Cullivan yet, the politician, the really toxic politician who's running for office in Canada, who the Russians were trying to prop up. But Pete thinks it's only a matter of time before they figure out that those same IRA accounts had been posting tons of pro Cullivan stuff, the ones that got shut down.
Yeah.
So, and of course, Pete is great with leaks. He's always leaking information on the sly. So, so as Harry points out, CSIS could help with that, the few leaks, which Pete won't admit to. Perish the thought, kid. You think we'd stoop so low? He says. But of course he will. I'm sure he'll leak information to the press that you know, those IRA accounts were definitely propping up Cullivan too. So they'll connect it to that in the end.
For sure.
And then there's the matter of the mole. There's some kind of mole in CSIS. And so Pete reveals that they found out who it is. It's one of the idiots who were supposed to fly Lena back to Ottawa in '94, but they screwed it up. One of them had just gotten off with a slap on the wrist, and the other one took a hit. He kept his job, but the incident took a serious crimp in his career prospects. So this guy, Sky Carr, is it Carr? Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of them was taken out of service the next day. Fournier. Carr got off with a slap on the wrist, and he made it into he was able to like stay with this organization, but he was never going to make it into senior management. He just worked his way up to a sort of halfway decent desk job. And he's working as an assistant. He's been working as an assistant to a deputy director for years. So basically it's a glorified receptionist. And he's got a chip on his shoulder because of that. So he's a perfect mole. He's got a chip on his shoulder because he could never rise higher than that in the organization. And a lot of classified material happens to cross his desk. So he got wind of their plans to send Harry over to the IRA. And so he basically committed treason. He's responsible for the dossier that got over to the Russians, and that's how they knew everything about Harry. And it could have gotten Harry killed. And he claimed that he was just trying to stop CSIS from fucking with the election, but it was definitely a grudge. He's a fan of Cullivan, and so he not only did he have a grudge against CSIS, but he's a fan of Cullivan. So when he found out what they were doing, he sent that dossier over. So now he's going to be in big trouble. He's going to be going to prison for that. And yeah, so that mystery was solved. There's nothing left, unexplained in the end. You really covered everything. And Pete is, very fatherly in being relieved that Harry's back safe. And then Oh, and he also tried to reach Chantal, but couldn't. She hasn't responded. And so yeah, that was that for their phone call. Chen said, "I hope the other Harry survives Meghan Markle." Right. Um, so they take their plane to let's see. There weren't any direct flights from Helsinki, so they had a little layover in Amsterdam. They got to fly first class, which is quite a luxury for them, especially after what they've just been through. Um, and and then um, she does let Harry know that she's gonna want to do what she's gonna want to control what she does with the money that she stole from Volkov. She'll tell CSIS about it, and he says CSIS will want to know where it's going, but she says, that's fine, but they can't try and stop me. The final decision is going to be hers about what she does with the money. Um, then they land in Toronto, and who is there but Chantal is actually at the airport. I That surprised me. The fact that she was radio silent and not answering Pete's messages, and then there's a sex tape out there with Harry in it, but she's there at the airport and just thrilled that he's back safe. Um, and she's trusting him. She even with Lena there and the sex tape out in the news, she trusted him enough to be faithful. So I thought that was nice. That showed the strength of their relationship. I mean, obviously, she told Harry later that she knew from that tape that that's not him. She knows that he's not well endowed like whoever that guy was in the tape, but still, she could have had her suspicions about what would happen with Lena. She knows Harry had a romantic history with her, and something
Sure.
really could have happened.
Totally.
But she trusted him, and I thought that was nice. She showed up and believed in him enough. So and she says, "Je peux chanter un soupçon de poisson." Uh, I can smell a hint of fish on on them. Yeah, that's the herring, the lingering scent of herring. Well, that was funny. So of course then there's Harry meeting with Pete in and Pete actually gives him a bear hug, which is not typical. Usually he's a little more aloof. But they do have at the end of the day, a very fatherly kind of relationship, Pete and Harry, and he gives him a bear hug and says, "You really saved our asses on this one," and squeezes Harry, which is sweet. Um, and this is where he tells Harry, just turn on the news when you get home, and you'll find out what happened. Because Harry wanted to know if everything worked out as they hoped. So let's see. And then when Lena and Chantal meet, but there's no bloodshed. It's all cordial and polite. Um, and then Chantal and Harry head off together. So in a limo, no less. CSIS actually rewarded him with a limo, and they're notoriously cheap. But I guess they're really grateful for what he did. So so they take a limo, and then they finally get to check the news, and Harry sees that Cullivan is in deep shit. Basically, he's in trouble for breaking election laws, and and the NRA was spending millions on bogus ads supporting him, and he's denying knowing anything about it, but he's cooked. He's gonna get thousands in fines and maybe jail time, and probably resign too. So it worked. Their plan worked. Ultimately, they wanted to take down Cullivan. That was kind of part of this. He was poised to be toxic to Canada, like a certain someone in the U.S. So that worked out beautifully. Um, and let's see. And then Harry and Chantal talk about the tape. And she wasn't happy to see it, but she knew it wasn't him, and she could tell that Lena still loves him, but like Harry said, Lena just kind of thinks she loves him. She spent 25 years living with this horrible man who abused her and cheated on her, and she just fantasized about him, about Harry, even though they barely really knew each other. And she's more in love with the idea of him than the person. So she's going to be debriefed for weeks. And then Harry surprises Chantal by saying he thinks they should move in together. He doesn't know how exactly, and he explains to her the whole dilemma about not wanting to live in Montreal, and not being able to afford a bigger place in Toronto. Um, and it doesn't seem like fair to make her give up her home, but he said, that he wants to do this. They just have to try to figure it out, and he even thinks maybe CSIS could buy him a place because they owe him for this. Um, but yeah, I didn't really expect that to happen. CSIS, they splurged on a limo, but a house, yeah, I knew that was a long shot. Um, and then in the final scene, um, Pete gets together with Harry one more time, and basically, yeah, the mission was an amazing success, and he took down the IRA, he saved the Canadian election, and he got rid of Volkov, a really bad dude. And on top of that, he uncovered a mole in CSIS. So he succeeded in areas they, even greater than they expected, even more impressive than they had hoped for. Um, and obviously the election hasn't happened yet, um, but they can pretty much assume that he's going down, that Cullivan's not going to make it. Um, and um, Lena actually got her way in terms of where the money was going to go that she stole from Volkov. And a lot of the people she wanted to help, CSIS agreed on. And so that's another positive effect of all of this, because she wants to donate to people in Russia who can change the political climate there. Boy, this is just a dream situation. This had me wishing this really happened in real life. And imagine, like, if Russia wasn't, the way it is, like, just completely change the political climate over there and make them stop screwing with everybody else's elections, because they're still doing it.
Of course. Kind of what inspired the book.
Yeah, exactly. Art imitating life, because we know what they were doing with our elections in the US. But Harry basically says Lena should take credit for a lot of this stuff. It was her idea to redistribute Volkov's money, and she got him into the building to take down the IRA. She improved the malware program so that the press wound up noticing, picking up on the story more and investigating it, since she spiced it up. And Um, and on top of it, I loved this this little thing. We got to find out what her pièce de résistance is. That was something that was teased earlier in the book. She had one a little addition that she made to the plan. She sent out a message. So it turns out she sent out a message on one of their troll Twitter accounts with a full list of IRA employees, their IP addresses, their usernames, and their real names. So now a bunch of those people have been charged with crimes in absentia, and this really makes it clear that the IRA was connected to Cullivan. So, I mean, that was great. I loved that reveal. I knew that was coming at some point. Yeah, you always tie up every loose end in both of these books, Doug. Every single one. And then
and speaking of tying up loose ends,
yeah, so then there's one last loose end, and that's Harry. What is going to happen with Harry and his girlfriend, with Chantal? How are they going to move in together? And so he gets an email saying that he got an e-transfer from someone named Kate the Cursed, and it says, "You and Chantal need to be together, Harry. I hope this will help. Enjoy your new home. P.S. The password is Petruchio. Is that the right? Petruchio." And then he sees there are 6 digits to that e-transfer. $2 million that Lena sent him out of the fortune that she stole from Volkov, which is chump change, really, from all of that money. She sent him $2 million. So there you go. Now he and Chantal, that solves that problem. One last loose end to tie up, and Harry and Chantal get to have a happy ending together. I thought that was awesome. I was really glad. Harry deserved that break after everything that he went through.
indeed.
That was a really cool ending. Just tie everything up with a nice bow at the end, and he gets his happy ending with Chantal. That's great. I love that.
And of course that absolutely had to happen, the happy ending between the two of them, because especially after setting up the way she leaves at the beginning of the book, it's like, okay, how do I fix this in a way that we know they're going to be okay? And I thought, well, I have to solve his dilemma in terms of, where are we going to live, kind of thing. And then, and again, this was not something I thought of at the beginning. This came well after, her stealing the money and all the rest of it. It was like, oh yeah, of course, she can be the Deus Ex Machina. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think he deserves it after everything he went through, and waiting all that time to have that happy ending. He definitely earned it. All those years after he first was with Chantal, and then they went their separate ways, and now, yeah, this felt earned. It really did. So. Chump change. Yeah, it was. I mean, how many $1 billion did she steal from Volkov? $12 billion. Yeah. So what's 2 million out of that? Lena could get a genius green card and actually deserve it. Yeah, that's right, John. Oh, smoothie. Yum, Amy. I love smoothies. I have a strawberry one in the freezer that I keep forgetting to defrost and drink. So that was the shaming of the true. I really hope that you do eventually write another one, Doug. It's so much fun. I love this world that you created with these 2 books, and I think it would really make a nice series.
Well, that would be my reason for doing another one, because I love it too. I love this world. I love these guys. And it's part of the appeal. I mean, there are a number of writers who have characters that appear in a series of books, and part of the appeal of that is you identify with them and they become like friends, and and you care about them, you're invested in them. And I feel that way about all these guys now, having put these two books together. But it's not a quick process. I mean, if I started tomorrow, you wouldn't be seeing another book for probably a couple of years. So we'll see.
Right.
We'll see. First, I've got to get something that I feel I really need to say, and then we'll go from there.
These characters, once, especially I would think that once you've written more than one book using these same characters, they start to kind of take on a life of their own, and you become attached to them. And
Totally.
as a reader, I know I do. So, you want to see their story continue and more adventures and hijinks.
I'd like to bring back more characters from the first book in another one, if I do, because they're all like old friends,
Yeah, they feel that way. That would be fun. You've created so many great characters between the two books that you could bring back in interesting ways, I'm sure.
I'd want to bring Marla back for sure,
Oh, she's a great character. I loved her.
Yeah.
You create very well-rounded, interesting people, colorful people who surprise you a lot.
Well,
And
it surprised the hell out of me, so
yeah. Yeah. So I mean, with current events going, who knows what could inspire you? I mean, you obviously took some inspiration from the Russian interference in U.S. elections, and you seem to get a lot of inspiration from what's happening in the world, like how Sucker is about dangers of AI and identity theft, and so I'm sure there are all kinds of things that could inspire you to create a new book starring Harry.
Well, in fairness, Marcy is the one who was really moved to do Sucker, but yeah, I mean that certainly did appeal to me. The fact that these events are so pertinent, and the first book too. The first book was based on what was going on politically in this country at the time, so it was my way of digging at the conservatives who were running the show at the time.
Right, all the Canadian politics that were woven into the first book.
Yeah.
Amy said Doug could write his own show. Yeah, you really could.
Well, Marcy and I actually wrote an entire Bible for a TV series, and then we found out that Kevin Kline had come up with something that's almost identical. We had no idea. Spent 9 months working on this thing, getting it all together. And then I was at an audition one day and just happened, one of the guys there asked me what the two of us had been working on. And I began to describe this TV series idea. And he said, that sounds a whole lot like this Kevin Kline thing I've been reading about. And I went online and Googled it and I went, this is like almost exactly the same story. Like no one would ever believe that we didn't steal it from him. So
that's terrible.
Gone, done. But it was a good learning experience, learning how to put together a pitch for an entire TV series. It was very valuable in that respect. But yeah, it was a hateful thing to just have to throw it all in the bin, But what are you going to do?
That's kind of like the time that you and Marcia accidentally wrote a play that was very much like an Agatha Christie play. And you're like, we stole Agatha Christie's play.
Yeah, but at least in that case, the two of them were sufficiently different that we didn't have to just completely check the idea, which is how we originally felt. We thought, oh, that's it. This is over. And I thought, no, we can't do that. We got to find a way to make this work. And fortunately, we did. Anyway, listen, I'm gonna have to bail because I have to get up early in the morning, as you know. So
yes, you wanna answer this question before we go? From Jen, she said, "Do your characters sometimes want to do different things from what you had planned when writing? Do they argue with you and feel alive?"
I don't think I've ever had them argue with me. I'd be a little concerned if I started having conversations like that. But certainly they. In many instances, they've gone off in directions that I didn't anticipate at all, and that's kind of the most fun when that happens.
I bet.
Yeah.
Amy said, "Good night, Doug. Rest well."
Good night, Amy. I'm sorry to hear about your teeth. I didn't know anything about that. We'll have to talk about that. Anyway, thanks everybody for hanging around and listening to all this nonsense. I hope you enjoyed it. And,
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see each other soon.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I hope we will. And anytime if you wanna come on and talk stories, we can do more lives when you feel like it and when you have the
Totally.
time. That would be great, Doug.
Sure.
Uh,
Well, I'm going to be around, and I don't have a lot going on once this bathroom gets done. So,
awesome. Well,
anyway,
thanks so much, Doug. Have a good
my
night.
pleasure. Thanks for having me. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon.
Okay. Good night, Doug. Oh, that's really close to the camera. Okay. So that is gonna do it for us tonight. And Michael said good night, Doug. Mackie, like Dougie the General. uh, okay, Amy. I hope you get that taken care of with the dentist. And get those teeth fixed because I know that can be brutal. My mom has had terrible problems with her teeth that caused her an enormous amount of pain. So definitely get on top of that before it gets worse. Trust me, you don't want the same thing to happen to you that happened to my mom. She couldn't get dental care for a long time, and yeah, it didn't end up well. Let's just say with her teeth. So, but I hope you get that taken care of. I know how painful that can be. And and yeah, my heart goes out to Faith. If you're out there listening, again, sending you lots of love and thoughts and prayers for you over the loss of your dad. I'm so sorry. And whatever we can do to lift your spirits anytime, well, we're happy to do here. You can come, if you need people to talk to. We'll stop what we're doing here in the chat and lift you up and try to give you some support. 'Cause, that's what we do here. We're a family. It's not just about talking TV shows or books or whatever. We're also a support system here, and so we're here for you, Faith. And anyway, and anybody's always welcome to reach out to me if you need someone to talk to. You can join the Discord. Um, the Discord link is in the description of the video, and you can DM me in there. And I'm here to talk. However, whenever I can. Anyway, that is gonna do it for me. And as for what's on the horizon, we're gonna be doing the From Rewatch next. So stay tuned for that. We might start tomorrow night if I can prepare enough in time. My pain level has been really bad lately, worse than usual. But if I can prepare enough by tomorrow night, then we'll do the beginning of the From Rewatch, which will be season 1, episodes 1 and 2. So fingers crossed that we can make that happen tomorrow night around 10 p.m. Eastern. And if not, the alternate day will be Sunday. So if not tomorrow, then Sunday we'll start the From Rewatch. And I looked at the calendar and I think I have a pretty good plan for how we can do it. We'll do 2 episodes at a time, twice a week for the next few weeks. So we're going to try to do one tomorrow night, and then starting next week, 2 From Rewatch lives per week, covering 2 episodes at once. And then I figure about a month before season 4, we'll get a trailer. And obviously we're going to want to do lives discussing the full length trailer. And I'm guessing that'll happen in late March. So when that happens, we'll do lives for theory crafting for that, and then rewatch lives the rest of the week. We'll do we'll aim for about 2 lives per week discussing From, either way, and we'll get that rewatch done before From season 4 comes. So stay tuned for that. I'm really looking forward to getting started. It's not going to be as crazy of a deep dive as the last time we did a rewatch. It's not going to be 8 hours long because unfortunately, I'm not physically able to do it that long due to my pain now. But we'll do what we can. We'll still try to make it as deep a dive as possible, and I think it'll be a good time. Good night, Doc. Have a good rest. Good night, Jen. Nearly sunset there. Oh, wow. Well, love you too, Jen. 20 likes. Thank you so much for hitting the like button. Please hit the like on the way out if you haven't already. Thanks, Amy. I've had these glasses for a really long time. I've had these glasses. They have like I forget what that's called on the side, this pattern. But I don't want to get rid of them, even though I need new glasses and my eyesight has gotten slightly worse. You can't really see it, but there's a little heart. There's a little heart here, and then this pattern. And yeah, there you can kind of see it on each side, and then frosted pink on the front. I don't want to get rid of them. They're the only glasses I've ever owned that I actually like and don't mind wearing in front of people. So I don't want to get rid of them, but I've had them for 7 years and my vision has gotten just a little bit worse. So I don't know. Maybe eventually I'll finally make myself get rid of them and get new ones. They don't make them anymore. I got them 2 times in a row. I did have a previous prescription with these frames, and then they stopped making them. Oh, thanks, Amy. I got my glasses on Firmoo. I went to get the script, then bought some on Firmoo and saved me money. They have a lot of cute ones. Never heard of that, but I'll check it out. I got these on Coastal. It's called coastal.com. If you buy them online, it knocks out the middleman and they wind up being cheaper because the websites, they actually manufacture the glasses themselves. They don't send them out to some other company. So it's cheaper than if you go to like a Lens Crafters or some other store where they send the glasses out to another company to make the lenses. They do everything at Coastal. So now I'm doing a Coastal commercial and they're not even paying me. But but it works like that with any website where you get glasses instead of a store. Anyway, I'll stop before I need to get Coastal to pay me for doing a commercial. Anyway, keep an eye out for the From Rewatch Lives, and also my breakdown of the From Season 4 trailer is still coming. I am making a video breakdown of it, so I know it's a little late. My pain has been so bad that I just wasn't up to making it, but it's coming. So when you see it pop up in your notifications, please give it a view. I'd very much appreciate it. It's my first scripted video that I'll be making in a long time. So, yeah, please give it a view and a like. Jen said I get my Trump toilet brushes and paper from Temu. That's amazing, Jen. I need some of those. Pixie, AB said they have some ivory ones on there. You should just, say not sponsored. Yeah. Yeah, I'll check that out. I'll check out, let's see, what is it called? Firmoo? Yeah. Firmoo. Okay. All right. So have a good day or a good night, everybody, wherever you are in the world. And the next up will be the From Rewatch, and I think we're gonna do I'm not sure which nights we're gonna do. I'll announce it via a YouTube community post and a Discord post. Which nights we're gonna do the rewatch every week, but yeah, keep an eye out for that. And hope to see you soon. And thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you all. See you next time.
Yeah. That's a theory creaking open, baby. Yo, welcome to the screen where the plot gets bent. Julie B deep dives, not just for content. She don't react, she dissects those threads from the lens, catching clues y'all missed when the credits end. What you know about freeze framing frames and while you blinking, she building an evidence drum. Got a notebook bigger than the lore itself, and a chat full of nerds with the mental health shelf. Yeah, she sees the glitch, peep the double cross. You just watching TV, she talk to the boss. Every theory and thesis, no throwaway guess. While y'all on season 1, she in season X. Said rewind it, slow it, zoom in, enhance. Julie B caught the symbol in the window glance. While you tweeting what just happened like a clown, she already made a flow chart, color coded breakdown.
They don't die like us, they don't vibe like us. They binge and they bounce, we revive that trust. They skip intros, we every frame. You watch shows, we decode the game. They don't die like us, nah, they don't die like us.
She cracked Severance before y'all knew it was deep. Predicted the Last of Us, drafts in her sleep. When the camera pans, she ain't blinking once. Catch a ghost in the glass, call it theory punch. Watch parties lit like apocalypse nights. Call-ins while they bringing alien rights.
Hey Julie, I think the trees are spies. Well, I have a spreadsheet that confirms that, guys.
Zoom in, boom in, she moving through clues. Spinning Discord in the courtrooms, Lord of views. Got mods with receipts, time stands with heat. Every rewatch turns into a Reddit elite. You stuck on the surface, we beneath with maps. Cross-referencing lore with the rector's caps. If your fave show got secrets, don't be dumb. Julie got the chalkboard out from's where it's from.
They don't dive like us, they don't vibe like us. They skim the edge, we inside that crust. They zone out, we zone in the pain. You say plot twist, we say nope, chain. They don't dive like us, nah, they don't dive like us.
What's that?
That ain't a blooper, that's a plot thread. You thought it was a shadow? She thought it was a coded message from season 3. And she's probably right. Step this way if your mind's unbent. Step that way if your theories pay rent. Say Julie B, deep dive queen. Now zoom, scroll, theorize, pull. Ain't no rabbit hole safe once she got the cloud.
They don't die.